Triple P. Triple P. Triple P. Panels for comics, turn the page. Ink in the margins, front to stage. Power drivers for wrestling, crowd goes wild. Place for good food, served up style. One name, 3 lanes, here we roll. Turn it up, let it go, let it go. Triple P, Triple P. 3 things we love. Triple P, Triple P. Turn it up loud. Panels, power drivers, plates.
Hello, welcome to the third edition of Triple P, the Comic Pod, panels, pile drivers, and plates with Josh Newell. I'm your co-host, Super Dave Miller, and we couldn't do it without the man himself, the promoter of Bayou Independent Wrestling, the creator of the upcoming comic sensation Castle Aiden, Josh Newell. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Man, I'm doing great today. I'm glad you haven't got tired of me yet. We're on episode 3. So we made it through the first 2.
Well, we're getting there. It's been fun. I'm excited about tonight.
Yeah, we got some interesting stuff on the docket to talk about tonight. And, we will touch on Castle Aiden and Oak Grove Wrestling, but we've been talking about that stuff a lot lately. So we're going to dive into a few other topics this time.
Look at Miss Ginger's already here with us.
She was in my inbox going, what time? So, and we were 1 minute late, so she was probably on time,
Well, we had a health scare with Miss Ginger last week, but she kicked out and she's back stronger than ever. So
oh, yeah.
God is good. We're happy that she's home and watching us tonight.
Absolutely.
You had some big news about Castle Aiden Kickstarter.
Yeah, we made our first stretch goal this last week. We set the first stretch goal at 1,500. The original goal was 1,000. That was just to kind of get the book funded. That's going to end up covering our printing costs pretty much, and a little bit of the shipping as well. And then at 1,500, that was going to be enough for like shipping and printing, and basically all of those costs were going to be covered. So we set our first stretch goal with that. And everybody gets a bookmark now. So anybody that has something coming to them in the mail is going to physically get a bookmark with their books. Now, if you did the digital only, you won't get one because we're not actually sending you anything except to your email. We're going to digitally send you the digital Castle Aiden. But you won't get a bookmark in that case. But so far, we only have one person that just did digital. So as of right now, there's 25 people that are going to get a bookmark, and then there's one person that backed it that won't get a bookmark, but they will get their digital copy of Castle Aiden.
Well, let me ask you, how many? I mean, is there a set number of the first edition that are going to be printed? I know we got all the different covers, but
right. It'll be broke down to around 400, 450 copies. Of the first,
all combined, or
I don't know
each?
The exact breakdown of how many of total. So it'll probably end up being around 200 of Jason's cover, and then 50 of Derek Donovan's and DJ's. So that's 300. Then we'll probably do 50 or 60 blanks, and then we'll probably do 30 or 40 of the variant, the black and white version, and that puts us around 400. So we might mess with those numbers a little bit. But now, when we get ready to do issue 2, you'll have an opportunity to order issue 1 there too. So anybody that's new to it and finds us on issue 2 and wants to get the whole story, they will be able to go back and, order an issue 1. Now, it might only be the Jason Turner cover. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to keep every single cover in stock or if we're just going to do cover A. But I will always have each issue so that people can go back and, get caught up in the story no matter where they jump in.
Cool.
That always drives me nuts as a fan to I can get my hands on issue 2, 3, and 4, but I can't find 1. Or I have 1, 2, and 3, but I can't find 4. And, that always drove me nuts. So I want to make sure that we're easily accessible for everybody that they can get those.
Well, for $8, you can get the digital, and there's one person that did that, but we don't even want to talk about that because we've hit a stretch goal. So there's no reason not to go at least 10 and get that bookmark.
Yeah.
And get DJ's artwork on this map.
Yeah, he did a lot of details on this map, and of course he's going to be our first guest. We locked him up for August 12th, so DJ is going to join us, and he's a jack of all trades. He does a lot of things, but for us in particular, he did the map, he did one of the covers, he did the lettering for the book, which people don't realize how important lettering actually is. It's kind of an overlooked thing when it comes to the comic book. He also did the logo for Castle Aiden. So we put him to work on this issue 1. That right there is DJ's logo. So,
and I noticed that on DJ, I was looking at his Facebook page. He actually draws on. I mean, he draws on these books a lot.
Oh yeah, he likes doing sticker covers and patches and different things.
Yeah,
they're actually very neat.
Yeah.
So, and he did a Hawkman for me this last week that'll be going up on the wall here very
soon. That's your Hawkman?
That's my Hawkman.
That Hawkman is badass.
I can't wait for it to get to me. He's popping it in the mail here pretty soon. So by next Wednesday, I might can show it off.
I even love just the pencil version before the color. But that pencil version was, I mean, I really like the black and white pencil art a lot.
Right. And I do too. Like the Salmon Twitch and the Grifter are both in black and white.
Yeah.
But DJ sending me a colored version of Hawkman. I really wanted the weapon. I wanted the mace in there. That was important to me because every big picture I've ever liked of Hawkman in a comic book, he always had the weapon reared up and ready to go. So.
And here's Jason Turner's.
Yep, that's the number 1 seller as of right now. That could change by the time we get to the end of the Kickstarter on the 13th. But this is the number 1 seller right now. DJ's has been selling good as well. And again, the detail in the background there is what I recommend people looking at. There's just so much between the banners and the facial expressions of the characters.
Yeah, I like that DJ's is got that animated, like,
and he can do all sorts of stuff. Like his covers, they range. He has such range. He can do anything that the person hiring him really wants.
Yeah.
So if you want the animated style, he can do it. If you want the realistic style, he can do it. If you want the little sticker and patches that he loves to do, he can do it. And with the stickers and patches, he's one of the few people that really does that design, so it's kind of a unique thing for him. He's not the only person, but like he's one of few. And I know we can't talk about it, but I sent you a cover today for issue 2 that is a voodoo doll cover. And Mr. Salinas that did that one for us, Ken, that's his kind of go-to, and that's his style. And it's very unique to him. So I was happy to get that one in today.
I may have to do a commission.
Okay.
Okay. And
they'll draw anything you want.
Well, I mean, we'll use the Ref Super Dave logo, and we'll make it like a referee style superhero suit. And
okay. I dig it.
Since I'm doing a comic book podcast now.
Yeah, you're in on all the nerdy stuff now.
And we'll have a piece of commissioned comic art to use.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, Derek Donovan's cover.
Yep. We've had several people pick this one up. Newt was one of the main ones that really liked this cover. I know he listens to the show sometimes. That was his selection. That and the blank one. He wants me to draw on the blank one, even though I've told him I can't draw, which is why he wants me to draw on it.
Oh. Draw a stick figure.
Dude has one of those thick sense of humor. Well, I told him my stick figures are even messed up. So
I'm a horrible artist.
Oh yeah, me too. Absolutely.
Like in school, we would do birds, but it would be like just lines, like it almost be like an M but it'd be a little longer just the two birds on it. But I kept doing a line across of them, so it looked like a bunch of butts up in the sky.
That's not exactly what they were hoping, but
No, I got called out on it, and I didn't realize I was doing it. And I mean, this is a memory that stuck with me for almost 50 years now, over 50 years.
right. And this will be the rarest one. We'll print the least amount of this than anything else. So if you want this exact virgin black and white cover, you probably should get it on this Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Because I doubt that we have it going forward on the other Kickstarters.
And then, of course, there's the bigger 11 by 17 poster.
Yeah, that's going to go up on my wall eventually too.
I've got to click. If also, let me point out if you're watching this, the QR code in the upper left-hand corner of the screen will take you to the Castle Aiden Kickstarter.
Absolutely.
You can still get in on that. I need to go back in and do it again so I can get this because I want this shirt.
Yeah, and even if you've already, picked your thing and did what you're going to do, it's very easy to go back in and manage your pledge.
Yeah.
That's what they call it. You can click on that. You can add to it and do whatever you want to do. We've had several people go back in and, at first they just wanted one cover, but then they added the mini poster or, something like that. And that's perfectly fine. Again, you have until the 13th around 11 o'clock. And that's also when you get charged. So if you're, waiting for your paycheck next Thursday or Friday, that's perfectly fine. It's not going to come out until the 13th.
And the Legend of Baymore, I'm excited about Baymore. I think Baymore is going to be just from what you've told me, I can't help but feel like Baymore is going to be my favorite character.
Yeah, he's been fun to write. I'm kind of a sucker for all the characters since they're all my babies. But like, if you ask Jason Turner who his favorite character is so far, the artist, he's definitely a Baymore guy. And he's pretty much done with the second issue. He's got 2 pages left. So 2 issues in, he's definitely a Baymore guy. And I like Baymore too. I mean, that's going to let me do a lot of fun things, a lot of creative things. Spoiler for issue 2, we're going to be in a tavern. Lord knows bad things happen in a tavern. So we're going to kind of play that up a little bit. We got some fun stuff planned for Baymore.
Just the dynamic that Baymore is going to have with the prince reminds me of the story that Vince McMahon used to want to go running around with one of the Valiants.
Right.
And he did not want him riding in that Cadillac convertible with him and partying with one. And I don't know why that story that made correlated, because everything's wrestling at the end of the day, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And King Marcus is going to try and keep Baymore, under control as humanly possible. He actually gives him an ultimatum in issue 2 between being clean shaven or drinking. He has to pick. So I'll let y'all figure out which one he ends up picking. But
for 40, you can talk to Josh.
Yeah, we can get on and talk about issue 1 a little bit, and I'll give you I wrote the first 6 issues, so we have plenty that we can discuss without me really truly spoiling the story for you. Again, I think that's going to be a more popular thing on issue 2 when we can talk about issue 1.
Right.
I can give you a little bit of tidbits on issue 2. This is the most popular thing.
This is what I did.
Yeah, that's been our most popular choice by far. It's not even close, really.
It's a hell of a bargain. I mean,
yeah, you get an extra deal because your shipping will be a little cheaper. That black and white variant's normally $20, and then Derek Donovan's is normally $15. So you're getting a little bit of a deal there for sure.
I'm excited about it. And then you can get the script for $50.
Yep. I'll sign it and send it your way. It'll be the whole script for issue 1. I also got some special kind of old-timey looking paper that I'm going to put it on. So it won't just be your normal, white paper. But I'm going to try and do that for every issue going forward. So if somebody does want to get that, collect that, or just to study it, it's not the easiest thing in the world to find comic scripts online. They are online, but you do have to do some digging and some different things. Plus, there's no like perfect answer. There's 8 million different ways to do a comic script. It's not like writing for a movie or a screenplay where there's pretty much a formula. There's some ideas and some stuff that you should do, but there's not a set formula. Plus, depending on your artist, you might have to put more detail in the scene. He might want it really detailed, or he might want no detail, depending on who you're working with. He might want to see the dialogue and then like one sentence of what you're expecting this scene to be, and then let his storytelling and his creativity take over from there. So every artist is different, every script's different. I'm getting ready to work on my next project right now, and I have a different artist doing it than this one. So I touched base with him and just like, hey, what do you like to draw? What do you not like to draw? Is what I did in the scripts for Castle Aiden, how you prefer them to be delivered to you, stuff like that.
Matthew Elvis Presley's with us. Hi, Matt. Double Dropkick Podcast. Hey, Kevin Davenport. Glad you're with us tonight, too. No matter what anybody says, I am the holder of the answers to Batman's greatest villain. Well, when we get there, we certainly want you to chime in. We want y'all all to chime in.
Yeah, and the Batman list was weird because, like, you can do so many different lists. You can do your favorite. You can do the toughest. You can do the ones that caused Batman the most chaos. You can do it. And my list kind of ended up being a little bit of everything. I kind of tried to mold it together between who I like, but also who was a tough villain for Batman or who did a compelling story. So it's kind of a tough list. Plus, again, all the Batman stuff that's out there. I haven't read all the Batman comics in the world. I haven't watched all the animated series that Batman's done. I've watched some of them.
Well,
I've watched pretty much all the major movies, but I haven't watched all the animated series, and I definitely haven't read all the books, even though I've read a ton of Batman books. So, and that's the retailer discount there. I already have one retail delivery I'm doing in Alexandria, Louisiana.
nice. And there's a 20-pack.
Yep.
I may go back and put the 10-pack on there just to put on my gimmick table.
Okay. Absolutely. I'm going to have a table for the first time in BIW history as well, starting in November, where, we'll have the poster, bookmarks, comic book, different things. I'll bring as much as I can because to wrestling shows, I do have the ring crew with me usually.
Yeah.
Plus, if it's in Louisiana, I have like the barrier with the rope and all that stuff. So I don't have a lot of room, but on the shows that I can, I'll definitely pack some stuff.
Custom sketch from Jason Turner, either a 9x12 or a sketch cover.
Yep, whichever one you prefer. I actually just backed a book this week from Jared Lockhart, which is called The Book of Riot, for those that want to, kind of mess around and look on Kickstarter for other things to back. But I picked a little sketch. It's not a cover. It's going to be smaller than that. It's like a little sketch card. But I actually added that to my thing because I do like getting artwork. One of the things I got in the mail this week was this from a guy named Danny Givens out of El Dorado.
Hang on, I'm going to expand you out so we can sell.
Yeah.
Ah.
So Danny Givens did this for me, but this is Battle Beast from the Invincible world, who's one of the most popular comic books in the U.S. right now. But yeah, he did this for me, and I got it in the mail. He's based out of El Dorado. You can look up Danny Givens on Facebook. He has real good prices. Like this is $50, and that's including shipping. So for
Danny
$50,
Givens,
yeah, you can get something. He also backed the Castle Aiden book, so I really appreciated that as well. But yeah, and I don't know. We might end up having Danny on a cover. I'm not 100% sure yet, but definitely on these little sketch covers, somebody that you can look into.
Mississippi Film Works.
What's up, Newt?
This is a steal for $50. He is correct.
That's one of our happy sponsors for Brookhaven. Newt's been coming to Brookhaven shows for a long time. And he's made a few appearances in West Monroe as well over the years.
Yep. Me and
Newt,
Newt.
did you ever make one to Natchez? Let me know if you ever made a Natchez show. I don't remember.
All right.
We did Natchez for a long time before we stopped.
Well, I'm excited that we're going to have DJ on
That's the 12th.
August the 12th. We're going to be doing we're going to be pivoting to Wednesday nights through the month of August. And I'll pull the curtain back. It's
right. Yeah. So
it's softball season, and my and then also JV football for my grandson. So
right. And sometimes real life's gonna happen. There might be some weeks where it's Wednesday, some it's Thursday. We're gonna try and be pretty set.
But I'll try to go Thursdays. Like if there's no softball game and he's playing, a couple hours away, I don't do that on the work. I got to be at work at 3:30. I got to get up at 3:30 in the morning. So I don't. Some road games I don't go to.
Right.
We may revisit that when he's varsity. Then that's Friday night. I'll make them all. But
right.
Wednesdays nights are better because you're not up against JCW.
You can always watch one of us later. Whichever one you want to watch later, it's right there on YouTube.
Hey, Angie's hi Angie, thanks for joining us tonight. She has a Star Wars question for both of us if we don't mind. I don't mind.
I don't mind, but I don't know if I can answer it. Dave, you might have to answer this.
I'll tell you what, I've been down a Star Wars rabbit hole lately, Josh.
Okay, well, good. You might
because there's so many creators that are just doing Star Wars stories.
Oh yeah,
like the Return of Mace Windu has made it. There's somebody that's doing them on TikTok, but they're. I mean, I know they're using AI and they're doing a great job with the animation and. Mace is back and he's madder than hell and he's going after Vader. And there's some really good Star Wars content.
Oh, yeah. And if you just are talking comics in general, like Marvel has the rights to Star Wars right now, and they usually put out one-shots or some mini-series, different things. And then Dark Horse had Star Wars for a long time. There's some really good stories out there.
I may still have them. It was, I think it was called Dark Empire, maybe. They did the first series, it was Dark Horse, but they did the Star Wars was done in gold letters.
Okay.
And they were very limited, and I may still have them.
Now, if we ever want to do some serious Star Wars stuff, a guy named Andy that did a cover for issue 4 for us, he's actually did artwork for Star Wars, like the interior and different things on books. So he is a huge Star Wars fan. It changed his whole life. He's one of the guys that works at Infinity Flux in Chattanooga, Tennessee, who does a podcast as well. Y'all should go check them out.
Angie's asking, do you both think that Keanu Reeves would play a great Darth Revan? If I'm saying that right. And if you've watched the Maul Shadow Lord, do you think that the pink Twi'lek Devon would become Darth Talon? You've lost me.
Yeah, I don't have Disney.
But I love Darth Maul, so I will definitely go look for this and get back to you on this question.
I also think Keanu Reeves can do just about anything he wants to do on a movie set. So I mean, watching Keanu Reeves do just about anything.
There's no doubt that he would be a great Darth anything.
Yeah, he takes all his roles so serious, and then he brings the star power, of course, to the shows too. So,
but I will definitely
next Wednesday, Dave will have an answer for you on that.
Yeah, because I love Darth Maul, and somehow there's a Darth Maul project that has gone by without me knowing about it.
Yeah, I know they did a show on Disney Plus here recently. I think that's what that's from. So you shouldn't have to go back too far. It's newish.
Hey, are you a horror movie fan, Josh?
No, I loved Friday the 13th growing up. Nightmare on Elm Street freaked me out for real when I was a kid. And Exorcist movies and Poltergeist and stuff like that when I was a kid. Whew, that used to freak me out because I grew up private school, chapel, Bible every Wednesday, Bible class every day, chapel on Wednesdays. So that was my upbringing. So it's ooh, get that demon away.
I liked horror movies when I was a kid. Uh, I liked horror movies as a kid, but now I never could sit through The Exorcist.
Right.
Like Freddy's and Jason's and Michael's aren't real, but the devil's real. And I don't like the possession movies. I don't watch any of that. I'm not. I read The Exorcist,
Right.
but I could not make it through the movie. The Amityville Horror kind of unhinged me a little bit. But I always liked the Friday the 13th and the Nightmare on Elm Streets and Halloween, the original Halloween movie. I didn't care for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Newt. I mean, it's all right.
If I had a favorite, it probably would be Texas Chainsaw Massacre for me.
Yeah.
Because I remember being really, really entertained by several of them. Not every single one of them, but several of them.
I
And
like
then, the first Saws were really good.
I never could watch Saw.
The first few Saws were really good, and then it just, it becomes kind of a trying to milk the money
Yeah.
thing. And at some point, you kind of lose the sparkle that a movie or TV show has. And I definitely think Saw got to that point, and I kind of tapped out. But most of the part, I wouldn't say I like true horror. I want like a suspenseful drama or something that might be touching on a very messed up subject. We can go into some dark character stuff and some dark angles, but it's not like just your true typical hack and slash horror that I watch.
Yeah. I don't like to be uncomfortable. I don't like to be scared.
Okay. That surprises me with some of the matches you ref and some of the people's face that you get up into at certain points of the match.
Adrenaline's a hell of a drug.
Fair.
Sammy Wright's with us.
What's up, Sammy? I hope
commenting about my collection. Thank you. I appreciate that, Sammy. I'm really proud of it.
And I hope you get to feeling better, Sammy. I know that injury is going to be a battle for you, but we'll make that BIW debut soon.
Without further ado, let's jump into our top. Let's get into our topic, Josh.
Yeah, let's go.
You want to do yours first or mine?
It don't matter, whichever way you want to go.
Well, since you're the star of the show, we're going to finish with yours.
Okay.
So let's do mine. Super Dave's top 10 Batman villains coming in at number 10. I like Poison Ivy at number 10.
She's on my list, so I'm with you.
I mean, who hasn't fell victim to a hot redhead?
Yeah, I definitely have. The first girl I ever lived with was a redhead, so I learned my lessons.
Yeah. Both my daughters are redheads, and they're crazy. I love them. But I always like Poison Ivy. I like her when she's more manipulative. I don't really like that when they make her the eco-terrorist.
Right.
But I do like when she's manipulating.
Well, the upcoming event that they're doing called Bad Seeds, she's kind of at the center of it. I know Poison Ivy kind of goes crazy, and it causes the whole Gotham world to be turned upside down. And they're kind of doing it like The Pit. I don't know if you've ever watched The Pit, but it's basically a whole season, but it's one day. So it starts in the morning, and then it ends at, whatever time at night. And that's kind of how this Bad Seeds event's going to go. It's going to be sunrise, sunset type deal in the same messed up day for all of our heroes. And Poison Ivy's kind of at the center at that. She's actually the mayor of Gotham in the comic book right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's causing all sorts of chaos.
And they know she's Poison Ivy?
Oh, yeah, they know.
And she got elected mayor.
Yeah, she was trying to do good for a while, and she did do some good.
Oh.
But she just can't help herself in the long run.
Yeah. All right, coming in at number 9, I like the Penguin.
This is my little penguin inspiration when I'm writing.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the Penguin. I like that. I like the portrayal of the Penguin that he's that he's dirty, but he operates just on the edge outskirts where you can't really get your hands on him. It's like Batman knows he's dirty, but it's hard to prove.
Right.
Uh, I
Yeah.
like that portrayal of the Penguin.
The
And
TV
all of
shows.
my picks are based on comic books. I didn't go animated series. I didn't go movies. I didn't go television shows.
The TV show Penguin is really good too on HBO Max.
I haven't watched that series yet, but I did like him in the movie.
I don't think they're going to do another season of it, from what I read. So you could binge it probably in one weekend.
Yeah, and I think that the Penguin portrayal on the TV series Gotham,
yeah, he was messed up on Gotham.
very brilliant, a brilliant portrayal of the Penguin.
And then if
most
you
of the villains,
Batman Returns with Danny DeVito.
I didn't like the portrayal of him in that movie, but I've got the script. I've got the original script, the first draft.
Uh-huh.
And if they would have done that instead of making the Penguin the way they made him,
right,
would have been so much better of a movie. I'll have to loan that to you if you would like to read it.
Yeah, definitely.
I bought that script at a comic book convention years ago.
Okay.
But the Riddler, Edward's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But crazy like a fox. He's brilliant. I didn't really care for the arc where they made him like a good guy competing with Batman, but he really wasn't a good guy.
I always liked him in the video game. I remember playing some of the different video games, and he was always one of the cooler villains in the video game. They could do some unique stuff with him.
Yeah.
And even though the movie was bad, I did think Jim Carrey played a good Riddler. It's just that movie was rough.
That movie sucked.
Yeah. But I thought he specifically did a good job with it.
Oh, yeah. He saved it.
If you would have gave him a good script and a good story, I think Jim could have took it a long ways.
Yeah. The KG Beast. I like the KG Beast. 10 Nights of the Beast was a great comic series. And most recently, in Batman number 57, Batman learned that because there was somebody tried to kill Dick Grayson, and the KG Beast had been hired to do it. And when Batman caught him, they were in the wilderness. They were out in the wilderness. It was snowing. They were fighting, and Batman shot him with a grappling hook. And the Beast said, "Hey, if you'll get me to safety where I can and save my life, I'll tell you who hired me." And Batman said, Get to safety yourself. I don't need you to tell me. I'm the world's greatest detective," and left him there.
Right.
Because Batman lost his mind when somebody tried to kill Dick.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's already been through some messed up stuff with his Robins and former Robins. So.
Yeah. So I like the KG Beast and the 10 Nights of the Beast. And I had the portfolio with all the different, you used to be able to buy portfolios with the 11 by 17 covers and pencils. And I may still have that one. Then we got Ra's al Ghul, depending on who you're watching.
Right.
I love him coming out of the Lazarus pit just a little more mad than he was when he went in. The best villains think that they're right.
Right.
And he's convinced that he's right.
Oh, yeah. A lot of the best villains don't really realize they're a villain because in their world, they're definitely the superhero.
I mean, sometimes I don't think Thanos was a villain.
Right.
but I mean, he respects the detective, wants him to join him, has a lot of respect for him, wanted him to marry his daughter, and be at his hand, and just a very, very. I mean, he's a genius, but he's mad.
Oh yeah, he's dangerous.
And every time he comes out of that Lazarus pit, he's a little crazier than he was the time before, and he's been around for a long time.
Right.
Dr. Hugo Strange.
Okay, I don't know a lot about Hugo.
He was obsessed with Batman, learned that he was Bruce. He would dress up like Batman. He would get into his psyche, but then later they started just making him the administrator at Arkham. And he was doing a lot of evil experiments, but he was very obsessed with Batman and his identity.
Right.
I've always liked Hugo Strange, and I thought the portrayal of Hugo Strange on Gotham was very good. Like I said, it's hard to poke holes in any of the Gotham villains.
Oh no, the whole TV show was so good. I mean, obviously, it would have been nice to make it far enough that we would have got to see some Batman down the road. But it was still a great show. I just wish it would have lasted maybe another 2 seasons or so.
Yeah, but I mean, Smallville was the same way. Once we got to where Clark becomes Superman, it was over.
Right.
But I liked Hugo Strange. The Joker. The Joker got me back into comic books when I heard that he had killed Robin.
Right.
But the most effed up comic book I had ever read in my life was The Killing Joke.
Right.
Not only did he shoot Barbara Gordon, that's what put her in the wheelchair, took pictures of her, like revealing pictures of her, and tortured her father with these images, trying to drive him over the edge.
Yeah, you can't have a Batman villain list without Joker being on it somewhere.
Right. I just didn't go. I mean, you would think that Joker would be the number one on the list.
Right.
But I think there's more. I mean, the Joker doesn't have a motivation. The Joker is just chaos. He does it for chaos.
Right.
And when we keep going, like the Court of Owls, oh my God. It's a secret society that's been in the shadows for so long because it's believed to be an urban legend. They are assassins that are they're the undead. They use a serum to reanimate them.
Right.
They freeze them when they don't need them. They call them Talons, and the main Talon was a early 20th century assassin, William Cobb, who turned out to be Dick Grayson's grandfather. But they were embedded. I mean, Bruce's parents were linked to them. All the architecture in Gotham was tied to them. I mean, the political corruption into the Court of Owls was just, I mean, next level, deep.
They're showing up in Absolute Batman a little bit too. Of course, in the Absolute world, everything's twisted a little.
Yeah.
So it's not what it's not who you know, what you know, but it's a little bits and pieces. But the Court of Owls has been kind of talked about and discussed a little bit in there. And I have a feeling it's going to be a big part of the story at some point. But I don't know what way they're going to go because, again, Absolute just changes everything. Which is part of why everybody loves it, because it's taking these characters that we know and love, twisting it a little bit, and making it just fresh.
Ask Dave, at the end of The Killing Joke, does Batman kill the Joker or not? No, the Batman does not kill the Joker.
You could argue that he should have, though.
I've argued that. I've also said, I mean, I think I don't know if I said it on here, but I mean, Batman's a pussy.
I don't know if I would take it that far, but
I mean, it's way too. I mean, I'm for, like, we talked about Injustice, and I mean, how many deaths is he indirectly responsible for because he puts the Joker back out on the streets?
Right.
And I get it if he crosses that line, but
yeah, I think he's so scared that if he ever does cross that line, there won't be any coming back. And somebody with the power, the knowledge, the information that Bruce has, if he ever did go completely off the deep end,
yeah,
what would that be? What would a Bruce Wayne unhinged? How much trouble would that be for Gotham?
See, more claims he did, but he's still there. I mean, I can't believe Red Hood hadn't killed him yet.
He's tried.
Yeah. All right, Hush.
I never read the Hush stuff, but you as a big Jim Lee fan, I figured he would be.
Yeah, Hush is Dr. Tommy Elliott. His parents and Bruce's parents were friends. Him and Bruce were friends as kids. His axe to grind is a vendetta against the Wayne family because he cut the brake lines on his parents' car. He wanted to be an orphan with all their money because they were millionaires. And he succeeded. His dad died, but Thomas Wayne saved his mother. And he was forced to care for his mother until she died of natural causes. But when Bruce's parents got killed, he was jealous of Bruce because Bruce got what he wanted. And he's a marksman. I mean, his choice of gun. He's a brilliant surgeon. He does plastic surgery on himself. He actually assumes Bruce's identity and kind of ruins and kind of, destroys Bruce's reputation. I mean, that's just that level of evil focused directly at Bruce. And then finds out he's Batman, of course.
Right.
So that level of focus is why I put him in as as Batman's number 2 villain.
Yep.
And Hush 2 has come out, and I'm looking forward to reading it. And then of course Bane. Bane's my number 1 Batman villain. It was so diabolical. I went with the image of him when he broke his back. But he studied him. He released all the inmates from Arkham Asylum. And Batman was like running 24 hours a day trying to get everybody locked back up.
Right.
It was a crisis, and he ran him into the ground. And once he had him at the point of exhaustion is when he attacked and broke him. I can't wait till the Nightfall movie comes out. It's going to be rated R.
Yeah.
It's an animated movie. This isn't the Bane from the Batman movies. This is, kind of the Bane from The Dark Knight, but he's a genius.
Oh yeah, and that's what makes Bane so different than a lot of your other big, strong.
Then that Venom makes
guy.
him like the Hulk.
Right.
But he breaks the Batman. And just with the precision that he studied him and did that, forcing someone else to don the mantle. And of course, that was Azrael.
Yeah, and that didn't go great.
Yeah, Dick didn't take that well.
Plus,
yeah,
Azrael
that was a
really
failed bit.
Azrael didn't really have the right mindset to be Batman.
No. So that was my top 10, Josh.
We got some.
Oh, and then I had honorable mentions. Gave an honorable mention to the Scarecrow.
Nice. I like Scarecrow. He almost made my list.
And I went with Catwoman. I don't really consider Catwoman to be a Batman villain.
Yeah, she's unique because they're allies a lot of times, they're enemies a lot of times, they're lovers sometimes, there's just such an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, she left him at the altar.
Yeah, there's just so much.
Her ability to break his heart and make him. I think that anybody that can make Batman have an emotional attachment to him and hurt him emotionally is actually probably one of the most dangerous villains there is.
Well, spoiler, that's why she made my list. Because that part of it, the mental part of it, is why I put her on there. Because she can do something to Batman that not many people can do.
Yeah. So, but I never considered her to be much of a supervillain because she's a cat burglar.
Right.
She's not trying to conquer the world, and she's not trying to take over, and she's not part of a rogues gallery. She's just, she steals because that's what she does. But she's also, but deep down, I think she's more of a hero than a villain. But I did give her the honorable mention because of what she did to him.
Right. And in the absolute world, absolute Catwoman is actually the rich one. So Bruce Wayne's poor and Catwoman's rich. So they role reverse those two.
Mm. Look at here. We got Josh's top 10 Batman villains.
Yeah, we got some villains to discuss.
All right. At number 10, Josh.
I put Catwoman. Unlike you, I do consider her a villain. Now, yes, they've been on the same side many, many, many times. But there's been so many interesting stories where Catwoman, again, is able to mess with Bruce's mind and make him think about things that he wouldn't think about with anybody else. Because he would just move. He would act on his instinct. But with her, it's always like, well, and he's thinking about it. And that's how she's able to kind of get an advantage on him sometimes. Now, obviously, she's a skilled fighter, but in just a one-on-one fight, she doesn't give Batman that much trouble. But that's not how Catwoman attacks Batman. She attacks him mentally and makes him think and teases him. And, that's a villain to me still.
Did you read Batman Year One?
No.
She's a prostitute in that one.
Okay.
But she looks out for people that can't look out for themselves.
Right.
And I remember when this comic book came out. She got her own title.
Oh yeah, she's up to around 90 issues right now.
Yeah, and I loved how they drew her.
Yeah, she has some of the best covers in monthly comics.
Yeah.
Catwoman's one of those ones. Wonder Woman, Poison Ivy. They get some really good artists to come and, be sexy but also tactful with it. Like they're not going over the top. But...
That's over the top, Josh. I mean,
well, your Vampirellas and your Red Sonjas.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that they tend to kind of go next level with. They at least try and keep Wonder Woman, Catwoman, and Poison Ivy tasteful, but still pretty.
She's a bad girl, and they drew her that way.
Right. Now, in her monthly title, they've toned it down a little bit on that end of things. So, and I had to put Two-Face on mine. I know he didn't make your list, but Two-Face was just always one of my favorite villains because the story could go so many different directions based off of that stupid coin.
Yeah, when I was doing your graphic and you had Two-Face on there, I had to think where I put him.
Right. Well, he didn't quite make it.
No.
I'm sure he was in that 11 through 15 right
Yeah, I just couldn't go back and just think of other than.
Well, Batman has so many good villains that, we could make a top 30 and still miss some good ones.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Batman has the best rogue gallery in comics, and that's not really even debatable. Some people might argue for Spider-Man, but really everything you see is either people think Batman or Spider-Man. There's really no other. And there's some good rogue galleries out there. It's just Spider-Mans and Batmans are so deep. They both have such a deep list of villains and stories. Plus, they've been around so long. So they have so many good stories with all these characters. Spider-Man's about to reach issue 1,000.
Yeah.
And they're doing like 70,000 covers for it. So if you go to Vans, make sure you grab you an issue 1,000.
I'll probably get one.
Right.
Just because now I feel like I have to.
Yeah, I don't even read current Spider-Man. It's been a long time since I read Spider-Man. But I probably will grab an issue 1,000 just to have it. Let's see here. So that's Mr. Freeze there.
That's Mr. Freeze.
Yep. I've always liked Mr. Freeze. Like, depending on the story, sometimes they do make him out to be this idiot. but most of the comic book stories, he's not like that. He's more calculated and a better, stronger villain. But you can definitely check out some animated shows or the movie and be like, well, he's not really a threat. And sometimes they do cast him as the B villain, so he'll be the guy that Batman fights before the real villain. But I've always liked Mr. Freeze stories, and they've always been interested. He brings a little something different to the table than a lot of the villains.
I really wasn't a big Mr. Freeze fan, but I do like that the compassion that Batman shows to him.
Right.
It's the motivation because of his wife, trying to save his wife.
Mm-hmm. He's got a nice little background, so
yeah,
it makes for an interesting story for sure.
But
here's Poison Ivy. Of course, she made your list as well. It's hard to do a list for me and not add Poison Ivy because she's able to do things with the plant and the ecosystem and different things that no other villain really brings to the table. Plus, she's just been around for so long and caused so much chaos. She has her own book as well. As I said, she's the mayor in it right now. But it was supposed to just be a miniseries, but it was popular enough that they extended it, and now they're getting close to issue 50 with it. So, which in comic world, that's 4 or 5 years of time. So it's really impressive that they were able to take something that was supposed to just be a miniseries, and the people got behind it, and it's up to almost 50, and she's about to be the main villain in the big Batman crossover for this year. So, and her and Harley Quinn still have a very interesting relationship. They go back and forth. Sometimes they're in love. Sometimes they hate each other. I think Harley always loves Poison Ivy, but she definitely goes back and forth on loving Harley.
Yeah.
And again, another one that the covers are just amazing for Poison Ivy. So.
And here we have Clayface.
Yeah, Clayface. I mean, I'm hyped about the movie, so there's probably a little bit of bias in the movie. Plus, the issue 1 that just came out of the little miniseries they're doing was really, really good. The artwork was amazing. But Clayface, especially in the animated show, has always been a very cool villain. And again, somebody that Batman just has so much trouble with because, your basic skill set doesn't really work on Clayface. Yeah. You can't just come up and beat Clayface in a fight. You're not going to kick and punch your way really to a victory over Clayface. And not that that's the only tool in Batman's bag, because it's a very deep bag, but that is one of the ones that Batman relies on. He's supposed to be able to whip you in hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah. The Batman animated series Clayface I liked.
Yeah, I thought Clayface was really good in it.
Like I said,
that's one of the strongest Clayfaces that I've seen. And my list is kind of a combination of I tried to think about movies, animated, comics. I tried to kind of mold them together the best I could. And this one's just on here for me, basically, because Killer Croc is probably my favorite villain in a comic book to seen drawn and seen in action. I just love when the artist is able to go detailed and, show Killer Croc doing impressive things. I've always been a sucker for Killer Croc. He's probably my favorite villain. Like, if you want me to buy the comic book, just in the description, write that Killer Croc's the bad guy or on the other side of whoever the hero is.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be in.
I like him when he's got a little intelligence about him, not the dumbed down version of him.
Right. And see, in Absolute Batman right now, Killer Croc is one of Bruce's friends.
Yeah.
He has a tragic story. So Bruce kind of goes out of his way for him in different instances. But Killer Croc's just one of my favorites, art-wise. Probably my favorite villain.
He's the Brock Lesnar of comic book characters.
Yeah, at some point I'm going to get a commission of a Killer Croc to put up on my wall here. For sure.
Lady Shiva. Or Shiva.
Yeah, Lady Shiva.
I've always called her Shiva.
She's one of the few people that's ever defeated Batman in straight up hand-to-hand combat.
She was a badass, and
Yeah.
later she became the mother of Roy Speedy's child. They have a child together.
Yeah, the Roy Harper, was it?
Roy Harper and her have a child together.
Yeah, anybody that can defeat Batman and the thing that he does, he's the world's greatest detective.
Yeah.
And he's the most trained fighter because he has it in all the different forms. So, if you have a black belt in this, well, he's got that plus 4 others. So
I think
anybody
she
that
squared up with Talia once.
yeah,
I think Talia said I went after her because she was messing with Batman.
yeah, that whole little group's had some very interesting runs for sure. But yeah, I had to put her on the list because anybody that can defeat Batman in hand-to-hand combat, I'm in.
I didn't even associate her with Batman until I saw her on your list because I associated her more with the Titans and Red Arrow.
Got you. See, I haven't read much Titans, even though I love Nightwing.
And she was in Deathstroke a lot too.
Yep. And Deathstroke was another one that could have made the list. He's definitely fought Batman hard multiple times, but he's not really a Batman villain. So I didn't put him on it. Solomon Grundy was another one that has some epic fights with Batman, but it's not a Batman villain. So here's
Bane.
Yeah, you're number 1, my number 3. Broke Batman's back, and again, usually when characters are as strong and as powerful as Bane, they're written very dumb and they don't have a plan and they don't have a strategy. Well, Bane's the opposite of all that.
Right.
Bane had a strategy. Bane had a plan. And he executed the plan to extreme patience and detail. So yeah, anytime you got somebody that's strong and powerful, but also patient, smart, educated, yeah, that's a dangerous villain. And I love Bane in the Dark Trilogy, the stuff with Christian Bale and everything.
Yes.
Like that was such a good version of Bane.
Yeah, I mean, it was really played off of the comic book.
Yep. And when they stay closer to the comic, obviously as a comic person, I tend to like it a little more. I know they have to take some leeways, and they can't work everything in that's in the comic book, and I get it. But they did a very good job of picking and choosing on that trilogy what they were going to use, what they were going to edit, what they were going to mention. And I mean, that's why it's one of the best grossing trilogies of all time.
Yep. Ra's al Ghul.
Yep, made both of our lists. League of Assassins is more my focus on it, and just being able to train all those soldiers and be around for as long as he's been around. And again, there's been opportunities that he probably could have took out Batman, but that's not his actual goal. There's been times where he was willing to take out Batman because they just got under each other's skin to the point where it's like, all right, screw it.
You're with me or you're against me. And Batman's like, hey, asshole, I'm against you.
Right. But of course, in general, though, he's not trying to take out Batman. He's trying to show him why he should be on this side of the war. And I appreciate that. And, Bane's probably a tougher villain one-on-one for Batman, but there's so much other stuff with Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
And then you can probably already guess who's number 1 because it hasn't been mentioned yet. So, yeah, it's just the Joker. It's always the Joker.
I just felt like going number 1 with the Joker was so obvious.
Oh, it is.
But I've justified putting him 5 on my list because I had different reasons.
I think he was a little higher than 5, wasn't he? Wasn't he like number 3 on your list?
Actually, he was number 6 on my list.
Really? Okay. But yeah, with the Joker, it's just a psychological thing. And, I worked in psych for a decade. And like I mentioned earlier, the TV and the drama and the kind of shows that I watch are more psychological and that kind of warfare. And the Joker just fits perfectly into that. Plus, as far as on the big screen, you're talking about Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger. Like, it's just everybody they've ever got to play Joker has took it serious and took it to the next level and did a good job with it.
Jared Leto did not do a good job. He sucked balls. That is the worst version of the Joker ever.
I didn't think he was horrible.
I hate that version of the Joker.
I mean, it is over the top, I guess, but I didn't hate it. I thought he did a good job. Now, I didn't put him with Heath Ledger and Jack for a reason.
No, and
But
that kid that played Jerome on Gotham is probably the best out of all of them.
and of course, Phoenix was able to, do the movie version, which that's a different Joker, but still, it's Joker.
Yeah. Well, and then of course Newt says, "Don't forget Caesar Romero."
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, I want to tell you, I've got I actually have Batman's the 1966 series. I have every episode of it. I have the whole box set.
Wow.
And it comes with a script. And they want you to read the script while you watch this episode with so you can see how much Caesar Romero ad-libbed the Joker.
Got you.
This is the crowbar version where he beat Jason Todd to death.
Yeah, he's and again, that's another reason that Joker's just got to be on the list too. Some of the stuff that he's done to Batman and the lasting effects that he's done, there's nobody that's done worse things to Batman over the long haul. I mean, Bane broke his back, but he was able to heal and come back just as strong, if not stronger. Where Joker, there's still stuff that Joker might not even be the villain in the issue, but he might get brought up because of something he did to Batman.
The Joker, I'm trying to think what the name of the story was, but of course he was the original Red Hood. But there was a lot of different people that were wearing the Red Hood. But it all came down to one bad day. I think his wife was pregnant. It was a neat story. Of course, it was his night to be the Red Hood, and he got dropped in the chemicals. And
that's another thing, too, with like the origins. There's been a lot of different origins over the years, depending on which version and which world and which comic book and all that stuff, too. So a lot of these characters, you might have fell in love with one version of them, but then there might be another version of that character out there.
Thank you, Newt. It was the beginning of the Killing Joke.
Got you.
Anyway, that was, and then of course you already mentioned them. Your honorable mentions were
Deathstroke, Solomon Grundy. And again, if Deathstroke was an actual Batman villain in my mind, I would definitely put him on the list because Deathstroke's incredible. And then Falcone was just somebody that, sure, Batman's not going to fight Falcone 101. That's not going to be a thing. But the gangster world and the crime world that's involved in Gotham and all the stuff that Falcone has his hands in, I just wanted to give him a shout out. Because when I'm reading like Detective Comics or something, Black Mask and Falcone and those characters are definitely ones that really interest me. Those are the stories that I really get into. I love the street level crime and the street level world. And that's why Batman's one of my favorites anyways, because there is so much of it on a street level.
And I just completely overlooked Black Mask.
Yeah, Black Mask is actually Catwoman's main villain right now in the comic book world. She's got some serious Black Mask beef going on.
Tell me about your making Solomon Grundy. What why? I mean, because that just out of your honorable mentions, that floored me.
Yeah, they fought a few different times, and some in the animated stuff, and also in the JLA some different times. And I don't consider Solomon Grundy a Batman villain. Didn't make the 10 list, but if we were just talking like cool villains and powerful and all that, definitely would have made my list. Because Solomon Grundy it's kind of like Killer Croc to me too. I love seeing Solomon Grundy drawn on a comic book page.
Yeah,
and seeing an artist's take on Solomon Grundy, because there's a bunch of different versions. If you pick up 5 different Solomon Grundy stories, whether it's a Superman story or a Batman, JLA, whatever, the art could be very different in all of them. And Solomon's just really, he's in Absolute Green Arrow right now. and they did a very cool version of him for Absolute Green Arrow. But him and Killer Croc are just two of my favorites artistically, so I've always been kind of biased. And then, of course, with Solomon, there is a high power level there too. And that's another, with Solomon, the power levels changed a lot depending on what they need him to be. Like, you might read him taking on Superman, and he's fighting Superman blow for blow. But then you read another story, and the power level isn't anywhere near, taking on Superman.
Right.
So that's somebody that they've had trouble figuring out where exactly they want to put him as far as power and stuff. And again, that's why I said on episode 1, I probably shouldn't write Superman, Green Lantern, those really, really powerful characters, because that's just not something that I'm very good at. But you give me a street level character like a Catwoman or a Harley Quinn or something like that, I definitely can knock it out the park, I think. So I like when you have some villains that are at that power level for sure.
Well, that's a good list, Josh.
And again, you can't go wrong with a Batman list. Like, we left out several people that you could easily put on there. You could debate on Harley Quinn. You could debate on Scarecrow. Didn't make either of our lists. I know you did an honorable mention, but didn't make the list. There's just so many good ones out there. And then, like, Two-Face made mine, but Penguin didn't. Penguin made yours, but Two-Face didn't. So.
Well, you mentioned Green Lantern, and I've got it uploading now.
There was several bits of news that came out of the San Diego Comic-Con. Ghost Rider's going to get a movie with Ryan Gosling. They announced the new Black Panther, and who's going to play him for the Marvel movies. So that was kind of neat. It was mainly comic book announcements, and DC killed them on comic book announcements. DC announced so many. Shadow of the Bat's coming.
I read Shadow of the Bat the first time around,
and it was great.
That was an awesome series.
They're putting the people that did Absolute Martian Manhunter, Dennis Camp and Javi Rodriguez, on it, and they won. They won several awards at the Eisners this year, and they're who's doing Shadow of the Bat. So I look for it to be amazing. The Demon's getting his own comic book. Jonah Hex, Doom Patrol, Vixen, Static. There's Legion. There's so many things that DC announced. Gotham Central's coming back. DC just killed it at the San Diego Comic-Con. My pull list is about to have to get a serious look, because when October, November rolls around, some stuff's going to have to go to make room for this new stuff.
Well, I'm excited about Lanterns coming to HBO Max.
I have HBO Max, so anytime something good comes on there, I'm down.
I like that. I think this guy. He seems like, I like his portrayal. What I've seen on the previews of Hal Jordan, I think that they've nailed Jon Stewart. Of course, Nathan Fillion does Guy Gardner well. I like the Sinestro. I mean, he's in custody right now. There he is. Hal, that was his mentor. And they were even saying at this point that he said, "Hey, you don't." He said that he knows that he's training his replacement,
right?
But they're going to replace him with Jon Stewart. I don't really like that. I'm hoping there's a way that they both get rings.
Yeah, there's no telling what route they go. So,
I mean, Kyle Rayner was kind of a neat Green Lantern, but I didn't like when they made Hal Parallax. I like Hal Jordan.
Right. See, I'm a sucker for not Jon Stewart, but who's the one with the horrible haircut? Crap.
Guy Gardner.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for Guy Gardner. I just find him funny.
Yeah, I hated the Guy Gardner series where they made him more than what he was.
Right.
Because he had some kind of alien DNA and he had all of these other different powers. But
the Green Lantern power is enough. Like,
yeah,
that's almost it's almost unlimited. Like, you can do whatever your imagination for the most part allows.
Right. Let's quit trying to get me away from the ring.
Right.
And then, of course, Kyle Rayner was an artist, so he was even more. I mean, I enjoyed Kyle Rayner as a Lantern.
They have Kyle back as the main Green Lantern in the ongoing comic book right now. Now you can also get Green Lantern Corps, which has some John Stewart and some Guy Gardner and some other the Green Lantern Corps.
Did you read the Kyle Rayner the first time around?
Bits and pieces. Green Lantern's never been my favorite because
but when his girlfriend was in the refrigerator, like she was murdered and stuffed into his refrigerator.
Gotcha. Yeah,
that was big when that happened.
I need to go back and read like the Jeff Johns run on Green Lantern because I love pretty much anything he writes. He's one of my top 5 writers of all time, which I'm sure we'll do a top 10 writer list at some point because I love lists and verses like who would win Wolverine versus Iron Man and stuff like that. So I'm sure we'll do a decent amount of that over the next year or so. But
there he is.
Jeff is one of my favorites, so I need to go back and read his Green Lantern because it is considered to be the Green Lantern run.
There's Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, and I think that they're actually going to do. I think they're going to do flashbacks.
Okay.
I think they're going to go back before Superman.
Got you.
And then, of course, there's another one, John Stewart, and I'm guessing these are the prison cell, the holding cells on Oa.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, anytime there's a comic book thing, I at least check it out.
This was a neat scene.
Flash, like the CW Flash. I guess the first season was pretty cool, but it lost me soon after. Arrow was pretty good. Gotham was amazing. Smallville was fine. I'm trying to think what other ones that I just really, really, really liked. Gotham's probably my favorite. I was so entertained by Gotham.
Yeah, Gotham was must watch. I like this preview that he walked in there. Of course, the villain is the Manhunters, so we're getting big bads right immediately.
Yeah, and that's smart. I mean,
but
you got to get people fast nowadays.
But he walks in there and they start opening fire, and he's in the bubble immediately. Of course, John Stewart's in a lot of danger without a ring.
When does it actually start airing?
I'm going to say August 16th, I believe.
Oh, so it's right around the corner.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Okay.
But I like Hal Jordan's costume. It's kind of weathered.
Right. I'll make sure I watch episode 1 so we can talk about it that Wednesday after, which I guess is the 19th.
Oh yeah, I think that they'll definitely, for the first season, we're gonna have a Green Lantern segment every week.
Okay.
We're gonna be ahead of the curve on that one.
So you got some Green Lantern love in your past. Okay.
I love Green Lantern, man. When I went to the Galaxy Con, I sat there and just. I mean, I had a dilemma about getting me a Green Lantern ring. I mean, I got 70-something belts and stuff. So what do I need some Green Lantern rings for? But they have a DC set that's got all the rings. The green, the orange, the white, the
Red Lanterns were always cool to me. Rage. They had some very interesting Red Lanterns as well. Back when they did the New 52, they actually gave the Red Lanterns their own book. It didn't last too long, but a lot of those New 52 books didn't last very long.
Yeah,
because they released 52 new books. So
you had to pick and choose.
Yeah, plus like a lot of those characters had never had their own title, so the fan base just wasn't like if you're dropping 52 books at one time, they're going to gravitate to the characters they know first. So you didn't really give a lot of your Hawk and Doves and your Grifters and your Red Lanterns, you didn't really give them a great chance to survive.
Yeah. If every superhero if every superhero in every universe had a giant fight, who's the last one standing?
Wow. I mean, obviously that's a tricky one because there's so much power level. When you get to Marvel's world, I don't know a lot of the lore and the history of some of those like Eternals and the godlike characters that they have. Um, but if we're just talking kind of the mainstream,
I'm
very well
taking that as
known,
a DC question.
just DC, okay.
If just DC, it's hard to say that Superman.
I mean, he recently won DCKO, which was the big crossover they did that had pretty much everybody fighting. Uh, Now, some of that's popularity as well. Like, if somebody's got to
Yeah.
win this book that we're pushing, it needs to be a character people give a crap about, and Superman's one of those characters. So, I mean, that's part of it. But, there's so many. Martian Manhunter is very underrated. Now, fire is a weakness that can easily be gathered, so that kind of hurts. But he's very, 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 very powerful. Green Lantern again is only stopped by his imagination and his heart, really. So I mean, that's another top. Superman's at the list. Wonder Woman can get pissed off and go ham too. In the current comic book world, they've upped Aquaman's power a lot, and Aquaman's almost at like godlike power.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I mean,
As long as the sun's burning, it's hard to go against Superman.
yeah, he's up there for sure. I mean, I guess I would say Superman. Lobo's another one that's actually fought Superman to standstills and kind
Well,
of.
yeah, Lobo can only be killed by one of his own kind, and he killed all of them, so there's nobody left to kill him.
Yeah, and he has to deal with the devil that he can't go to hell or heaven, so he's just stuck. Nobody wants him. Nobody can't kill him. So, I mean, Lobo's up there as well. Now, with how he's consistently written, I don't think anybody would say he's in the top 5 power level. But if you really read his history and what he's capable of, he might be a top 5 power level person. He's not really cast that way too often. But if we're just talking DC, I guess Superman would be one of the ones that I would say. If we added Marvel in, of course, Phoenix, Silver Surfer, some people like that would jump in. Incredible Hulk, like how do you ever actually beat Incredible Hulk? Because the more you hurt him, just the stronger and madder he gets. So it's always very cute how you defeat Hulk. You have to like trap him in a box or send him away or, whatever. You don't just beat Hulk in a fight. You beat him up for like 10 panels.
Yeah.
But then he gets pissed off and he beats you up for the next 5 panels. So,
did you remember when DC versus Marvel happened?
Oh, yeah. I was so mad because Wolverine fought Lobo. And because of the popularity
of Lobo,
because you got to vote. So, like, Wolverine, of course, wins the vote because Lobo's nothing compared to Wolverine on popularity level.
Right.
But they're not even in the same stratosphere of fighting, though. Like, Lobo and Wolverine should never be matched up in a fight. So I was pissed off when Lobo lost to Wolverine. And it was some, like, BS thing because they had to BS it. Because there's really, again, no way that should have happened in the first place. But I always liked comparing, like, Flash and Quicksilver, Green Arrow and Hawkeye. People like that are very similar to each other. Aquaman and Namor, Captain America and Batman make a good fight. There's all sorts of ones that just match up really good. Superman was a tough one to find like the right opponent for him. I think did they end up choosing Thor, or did Thor fight Wonder Woman?
Yeah, I think it was Superman and Hulk.
Okay, yeah. And then Thor and Wonder Woman, I believe, fought. And Wonder Woman was actually able to hold the hammer, and it blew Thor's mind that Wonder Woman was actually able to do that. But I mean, she was in the same ilk as Thor, though. Like same thing, buddy.
I mean, when you look at both sides of the coin, they're for every Marvel character, there's a comparable DC character, and vice versa.
Oh yeah, they've definitely copied each other over the years for sure. And again, you make changes in different things, but
so you put Nightwing up against Bucky.
Yeah, and you could do Falcon against Robin.
Yeah.
Iron Man's kind of a weird one. I don't know who I would match up against Iron Man.
I always thought Iron Man and Batman.
Okay, so who's fighting Cap? Because I have Batman and Cap in my mind. So
Yeah,
if Batman's going to fight Iron Man,
the Cap's a super soldier, and
yeah,
Batman's not.
yeah, but that's never stopped Batman. What's the phrase?
Batman's a millionaire with cool toys.
What's the phrase? You just give him prep time.
Yeah.
You just got to give Batman prep time. If he knows he's fighting Cap. But again, that's always a funny argument too, because the other guy also has prep time, and in some of their cases, they're just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than Batman. So, Batman's a tough one because, like, I personally think Batman should get his ass kicked a lot more times than he does, and that would make for compelling stories and different things. But you have to be careful.
Batman and Punisher are kind of parallel. Batman and Daredevil are really paralleled.
Now, I would watch Deathstroke and Punisher.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Deathstroke would take him, but it'd be a fun fight for sure.
I think Deathstroke and Captain America are kind of evenly matched when you think about it, because Deathstroke's kind of because what's that his serum is I used to be able to say it when they talked about it on Arrow. Hirakuru or something like that.
Right.
So I mean, he's enhanced like Captain America.
Right. Daredevil and Nightwing would be fun to watch.
Yeah.
I think Daredevil would have the edge, but it would still be a fun fight to watch. So then, like Thanos versus Darkseid, if you want to do some high-powered villains.
Yeah. If it's all right with you, since we're for the pile driver section, I've got some fun fighting that'll be cool to watch.
All right.
Tomorrow night, Mount Olive, Mississippi, for the fundraiser for the fire department. It's Super Brawl 2. Lost Art of Wrestling is presenting this. We're going to have Jacob Walker versus Jesse the Dragonheart, who recently made his Bayou debut.
Yeah, I like me some Jesse.
This is for the Zero Gravity Championship. And let me tell you, Jesse, zero gravity as they come.
Absolutely.
Then we have Ursa Major in a handicap match against Nick Van Dam and a mystery partner.
Okay.
Nick Van Dam was a referee that went dirty during a match, so I hope he gets piss beat out of him.
Right.
Ursa's definitely beating the piss out of somebody's business. The Riots, Alex and Leo, in a tag team match against Doc Gracie and Hayden Sill. I think they're overlooking Hayden because they hate Doc so much. There's definitely a personal issue between the Riots and Doc. They act like there's nobody else in the match, but it's always a grudge match when Doc Gracie's across the ring from a Riot. For the tag team championship, the Hosey brothers against Days of Rage, Riot and Eric Black.
The Hosey brothers are going to be somebody in 2027 that make their BIW debut. We're definitely going to make that happen.
Oh, good.
Whether it's against Muddy Waters or it's against Cold World, I think they would match up good against either team.
Oh, definitely. Or even I don't know that if you've ever done an 8-man, but Bayou, Rob Love and them.
Yeah, the Bayou Kingdom.
I keep wanting to call them Southern Royalty.
Well, they were Southern Royalty for 6 years.
But Bayou Kingdom, I mean, when you figure the four of them, if you got the Hosies and Muddy Water together, or the Hosies and Arsenal and Fury.
Yeah, Horsepower is still out there. Hate City hasn't officially broke up, even though there's problems with Wes and Frankie.
Yeah.
Christian Blake's been hanging out with us more often lately, so I mean he could bring Jordan up. Jay Spades did some work for us, so Buku Dow could make his BIW.
Oh yeah, I really want to see. I hope we see more of Jaden Spade.
He's on the Fountain Hill show, so
yeah, he's incredible.
Oh,
but these guys are incredible, and they're going to tear it up.
Absolutely.
And Lou Cameron, my God, this is a one-man wrecking crew. I mean, when you put him out there against Vladimir Koloff, I mean, have you noticed the transformation in Vladimir Koloff since when he was in BIW?
Oh yeah, you can't help but notice. Koloff's put in so much work on his body and
Man.
getting himself in the best shape that he could possibly be in.
But Lou Cameron is a very destructive force, and he does not care. I mean, he's reminds me of the violence level of Angel Camacho.
Okay.
And then whoever wins that match is going to go on to take on Ray Fury.
How'd Ray get so lucky to face somebody that's already going to be tired?
I think that Ray won a qualifier.
Okay. Well, shoot.
I honestly don't know, but
if Koloff ends up winning his first match and losing to Ray, social media is not going to see the end of it because they already go back and forth on social media.
Yeah.
But if Koloff has to wrestle twice and loses because of that to Ray, he is not going to let social media see the end of that.
But the purpose of this is that we're crowning a new lost art of wrestling heavyweight champion.
Nice.
That title, unfortunately, was vacated because of Sammy Wright's injury. But
yeah, he was going to make his BIW debut November 7th in Brookhaven, which is right there. You know, he has a lot of family in that area and stuff.
Yeah.
So he was really looking forward to it. But I'm sure we'll get to do it next year.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to come back stronger than ever.
Absolutely.
But Lost Art to benefit the Mount Olive Fire Department. It'll be at the firehouse in Mount Olive and 7:00 tomorrow night, Friday night, July 31st, which is the 4-year anniversary of Ric Flair's last match.
Oh, which we just happened to be in the room with somebody that happened to ref that match, or at least make a cameo at the end there.
Yeah. But that's my humble brag.
That's a pretty big one. So
actually, I posted a picture of holding the Briscoes' arms up, and for some reason, my Facebook had it just 3 years ago instead of 4.
Huh. I don't remember the exact year, but I mean, you would know.
No, it was 2022.
That's the biggest highlight of your career, so you'll definitely.
Remember that date. Yeah, I've got as much mileage out of that.
Oh, it's not over. I'm going to be mentioning it at Comic Cons when I go. When I'm telling people who I do the podcast with, I'm going to be like, hey, if you don't know Super Dave, let me tell you about him. And one of the first things I'm going to say is he did the count for Ric Flair's last match.
Hey, I did a lot of cool stuff that weekend. I mean, on today, 4 years ago, I worked Black Label Pro and I refereed for Speedball Mike Bailey.
Right.
Who just, won a ladder match this last week for a title shot at the international title.
Oh yeah, I've liked Speedball for a long time. He's one of the smaller, kind of flippy guys that I still like because a lot of the smaller guys I'm not a big fan of, but he's able to work in enough charisma and creativity that I'm usually there for a Speedball match for sure.
All right, what's for supper?
I think the wife's doing some little steak fingers. We're gonna eat out tomorrow, but tonight I think she's just gonna have some little steak fingers for me.
Yeah, I have no idea what's in store for me tonight.
Yeah. As far as food goes, I just wanted to make sure that there's a food truck here in town. I call it the Pink Truck. That's not the official name of it. She'll call it the Pink Truck as well because it is a pink truck. But I forget what she actually calls her business, but it's the Pink Truck over by Vantro across from the Dollar Tree. Follow Chan on Facebook, but she does the best. Her menu changes every week, and she's always creative, and she always goes out of her way to do something different. Because there's several food trucks around here that are good, but they have the same menu every single time. And part of that's good because you don't want people that love your food to not be able to get the item that they love.
Right.
So I get that. I respect it. But me as somebody that just likes variety and travels and does all these different things, I appreciate that she goes out of her way to do a different menu. And Tuesday, she did a burrito bowl, which you could get queso, shredded cheese, 2 different kinds of rice. It was Spanish rice or cilantro lime rice. You could get black beans, corn, some kind of pico de gallo. You could get guac, and it was so hard to finish because it was a huge bowl and it had all this stuff in it, and I felt stuffed about halfway through. But it was delicious. She also did quesadillas that day. You could get a Cajun chicken, beef, or I think some kind of turkey.
Well, and Josh just throws out the location like he doesn't realize that we're broadcasting to the entire world.
West Monroe.
West Monroe, Louisiana is where he's referencing food trucks.
Technically Monroe. But yeah, and I should have grabbed the actual name that she goes by, because it's like I Am Kitchen Cooking or something like that. But everybody just calls it the Pink Truck.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what her posts say. That's what I tell people. So
I knew we didn't have anything prepared food-wise, but I just felt like we're going to mention it.
Oh, yeah. And again, she's usually out twice a week. And I go at least one of those 2 times usually, because she'll put her menu out a day or 2 early and kind of let you see what's coming. And I usually plan to go at least once a week to hers. And the prices are affordable. Now, you will have to wait a little bit because she does have a good following.
Yeah.
She's cooking this stuff fresh in the food truck, for you. And it's going to be hot and it's going to be delicious and it's going to have a lot of love. So I wouldn't recommend going if you're in like a hurry. If you pull up at 5, don't expect to be pulling off by like 5:10. Well, that's just not how it's going to work.
Well, now that sports season started, my contribution to the plates part of the show, I will be giving. I love concession stands, and if we have a good concession stand, I'll definitely tell you about it. And I have no problem burning one to the ground if they suck. But we'll be up at Holmes Community College. I think in Goodman, Mississippi, for softball tournament this weekend. And
okay. Well, when y'all go to Riverfield for basketball, I'm gonna meet you there, and I'm gonna see this good concession.
Man, I hope they got red beans and rice, but they'll probably have jambalaya.
I'm okay with either. I do prefer red beans and rice, but I'm fine with jambalaya too.
Yeah, it's hard to go wrong with red beans and rice.
Oh yeah.
Well, Josh, this has been fun.
Yes, sir.
We're going to do it again. And we're going to do it again next Wednesday.
Right. Join us on Wednesday, y'all, instead of Thursday. Wednesday. Still around 7 o'clock. But
for Triple P, the Comic Pod, panels, pile drivers, and plates with Josh Newell. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for everybody that participated in the chat. Matt, I hope the power gets back on pretty quick. And be safe out there, and we'll see y'all next week. Good night, everybody.
See you next time on Triple P.